NFL Hall of Famer and Super Bowl champion, host of Club Shay Shay, Mr. Shannon Sharpe, who recently stepped down from his role at ESPN, is being accused of sexually assaulting yet another woman. I think that this is really important for us to talk about here on the Legacy Lab, especially as we're talking about all the lessons we need to learn as we're entering adulthood. I want to tell you plainly, conquering women is not a true sign of being a man. I'm going to tell you plainly, if you don't learn to master your hormones, they will always master you, as you can clearly see. My name is Jordan Green-Ellis, your personal mentor, and this is the Legacy Lab. Welcome to the show. What's going on, y'all? My name is Jordan Green-Ellis, again, the host of the Legacy Lab and affectionately known as your personal mentor. I sincerely hope you're well. If you're new here, welcome to the show. If you're not new, welcome back. Get your pen, get a piece of paper. Let's take some notes. I don't know if you heard the story. We're not going to spend too much time on Mr. Shannon Sharpe, but rather, we're going to spend a whole lot of time on this false idea of what being a man actually is. I remember one of the first conversations I had with one of the homies around the way. And we was talking about, the birds and the bees. And he was talking about some experiences that he had. And it intrigued me to such a degree, it made me want to experience what he was experiencing. Short story short, way before the time that I should have experienced these things, I did. And it did not make me more of a man. I want to tell you plainly, you do not have to follow every feeling, and you do not have to follow the ways that the world tells you is the right way to do things. Fast forward many, many years later, as a grown adult, I was dating my soon-to-be wife at the time, and I was coaching baseball. Right before a game one day, I was having a conversation with one of the umpires, and he saw that I was a young man. And he asked me about my aspirations for marriage. And he advised me to, quote, touch every base that you can. Rather, he said, touch as many bases as you can. And this was an analogy to say to have as much as you can, especially while you're young. Because when you get married, you're going to be tied down. You're going to be bogged down. My friends, I want to tell you plainly that it is not noble, nor is it a badge of honor to have many, many sexual partners. This does not make you a man. In fact, in my opinion, it makes you less of a man. And here's why. Because you can't control the feelings that come to you. Therefore, you are not in control of your own life. And if you're not in control of your own life, then you'll always be controlled by what's going on around you. Now, I'm not saying this as if I'm a perfect person, or I've not made these same mistakes that I'm cautioning you from. I have, and I'm not proud of it. So I can tell you from experience that this won't fulfill you and make you feel more like a man. In fact, this is actually going to lead you on a path that the more you do it, it's going to be harder to break it. Case in point, Mr. Shannon Sharpe, and no disrespect to him, this happens to a lot of men. He's 56 years old. And the very first case where he was being accused of sexual assault was with a 19-year-old woman. What in the world does a 56-year-old man have anything to do, any interest in a 19-year-old woman? What it is purely, if he couldn't do it, with all of the money, all the fame, all of the accolades, don't think that if you don't practice this skill that you'll be able to do it. You need to get this locked in now. Because it won't just change. You're not going to get to a certain point in your life where you're going to be like, oh, you're not going to get to a certain point in your life where it's just going to be easy. No, you are going to have to practice and build up this skill of resilience. And watch this word, self-control. So that when you become successful, so that when you become who you were born to be, so that when the world knows your name, you won't be taken down because you couldn't control your hormones. I'm telling you that this is not going to end well for Mr. Shannon Sharpe. And even if it does end well and he gets off, the fact that he has to experience these things, which I'm sure that he didn't plan for, is not something that someone to his caliber should have to experience. And it's not something that you want to experience either. So I want you to learn to master your hormones. Don't be led by them. It is, on the other hand, noble. It is a badge of honor to be faithful to one woman. It is noble. It is a badge of honor to be faithful and dedicated and give your life to one woman. And I mean the whole entire package. This is definitely for my older legacy leaguers, y'all. So my bad if you're young, but I don't want to expose you to nothing too soon, but if you're in that high school, older high school, college age, young professional, please hear me and hear me well. It is not a badge of honor to touch as many bases as you can. It is not noble to touch as many bases as you can. Because if you feel like you have to, it's probably because you can't control yourself. And if you can't control yourself, you're not worthy to be trusted. Here's what it looks like practically. You have an opportunity to indulge in something perhaps prematurely. You got that feeling, okay? Like Marvin Gaye said, okay? You might be a little young for Marvin Gaye, but look it up and you'll understand exactly what the reference was. I want you to tell yourself no, especially when it comes to like dealing with your hormones. Don't think that you are going to have enough willpower to just be like, oh no, I'm good. Like, no, I'm good, bro. Like, I don't even be on that. I don't even be thinking about that. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. And there are, as you can clearly see, some women who will position themselves just for that. Because on the same hand, as why would a 56-year-old want anything to do with a 19-year-old? Why in the world would a 19-year-old want anything to do with a 56-year-old? And she knew exactly what to do to get his attention. And he fell for it. I don't want you to miss the point of this message. This is not about Shannon Sharpe as much as it is about you. Shannon Sharpe, unfortunately, is the example that we use to teach you this lesson because he is such a high caliber, or so we think. Not to say that he's not, but he has this perception of being such a successful person, which he is. And he still fell. So this doesn't make anybody exempt. Anybody can fall. But you won't fall if you learn to control yourself. I want you to prioritize when you get to that time in your life, giving yourself to one woman, okay? I want to hold you to a higher standard. Are you ready? I want you to prioritize for yourself, giving yourself to one woman. And this is not your girlfriend. This is not someone who you've been talking to for a long time, for many years. This is not someone who you feel like you love, who's met your mom and who's bought you gifts and taken you out on like any of those things, who treated you like a king. It's not any of those persons. It's your wife. Until you guys make the commitment to marrying each other, I don't want you to give yourself to her physically. I want you to hold yourself to the standard that we hear a lot of young women hold themselves to, or the standard that we hear a lot of young women are supposed to hold themselves to. I want you to hold yourself to that standard. I want you to look at your body as something that is valuable. I want you to look at your body, your person. I want you to look at yourself as something that is a prize and invaluable. And whoever you give it to, being your wife, is going to benefit in great measures. Not just from the physical aspect, but because we're talking about it, you get the point. Hope you understand me, okay? I want you to look at yourself like this. As men, we have to look in the mirror differently. My friend, you are the prize also. You have something to offer also, and I don't want you to give it away. We want to talk about having children, and this is no shade. This is no shade at all. This is not to disregard any woman out here. But there's often a narrative as it pertains to having children that we put solely emphasizing the woman. And yes, they do carry the child. It is a great responsibility. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not taking anything away. But what I am saying is that there is no child without you. There is no child without you. Them carrying never happens if you don't plant the seed. The fruit doesn't grow if you don't plant the seed. There is no family if you don't plant the seed. There is no legacy if you don't plant the seed. I'm sorry, I'm screaming. I'm sorry. Let me calm down. I'm excited because I need you to understand how much value you have. You have it. There is no legacy. This is why this is the Legacy Lab. There is no legacy unless you give up the seed that produces the legacy. I'm not devaluing anyone. Please don't misinterpret what I'm saying. I'm trying to bring you and your personal value up. I want you to see yourself differently. How much better would this world be if men had more self-control? It wouldn't matter what they did. It wouldn't matter how they threw themselves at you or what they wore or what they said or how they enticed you. Don't put the responsibility on them. We're not talking about them today. We're talking about us. How much better would the world be if we had self-control? If we could tell them and tell ourselves no. Now, all of that is theory. Here's the practical aspect of it. I kind of started to get into it earlier, but I want to tell you plainly. If you put your hand next to fire, like an open flame, it is going to get burned. What am I saying? If you are in a situation where the temperature is rising and you feel those hormones start to get raging, don't stand next to the fire. I want you to literally leave. And I'm speaking not from a place of experiment. I'm speaking from a place of experience. Don't think that you could stand next to the fire and think, oh, well, this fire is warm and cozy. It's keeping the mosquitoes away. No, my friend, you are going to get burned. Ain't near one of us strong enough to stand next to the fire. And so I want you to leave. I want you to remove yourself from the situation so that you are not tempted. When it comes to self-control, in addition to that, maybe it's not even that you're next to the fire. Maybe you've been exposed to explicit images and they're stuck in your mind. When those thoughts come to your mind, I want you to occupy your time with something different. I literally want you to do something else. I literally want you to, I don't want to say distract yourself, but give your attention to something else that's productive. Okay? I want you to give your attention in your mind, your focus to something else. Now, for those of you who follow Jesus, this is a good place to plug in prayer. Okay? If you don't follow Jesus, shameless plug, you should follow him. But I get it. Not everybody's going to choose him, and that's okay. You can still use self-control. Give your attention to something else. Let's say you actually like this young lady who you are with and you've been pursuing and you're all together or whatever it is. Don't give yourself to her in that way until you give her a ring. And I'm not talking about an engagement ring. Excuse me. I should make the difference, okay, the differentiation. Until she has a wedding band, because it's two different things. I didn't know that. Until she has a wedding band. If you have a fiance, you still single. Y'all getting all your personal mentor today. Until she has a wedding band, don't give her yourself. And it's not to say that you won't want to. You probably want to. But don't let that feeling lead you. Let your core values lead you. If you have not committed to her to be her husband for the rest of y'all natural lives, don't take that step. Drop your questions in the comments if you have any. That's all that I want to share with you today. Please, don't make the mistake of being led by your hormones, or they will always lead you. I want to tell you plainly that you, my friend, are destined for greatness. You have immeasurable potential inside of you. But right now, my friend, it's inside of you. And I don't want it to stay there. You got to be committed to the journey. Today, you took a step. And next week, I want you to take another. Join me for a brand new episode of the Legacy Lab. My name is Jordan Green-Ellis, your personal mentor. I sincerely thank you for joining us for another brand new episode of the Legacy Lab. I'm signing out, but you already know I'll see you soon. Stay legendary.